What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the D.O.G podcast.
Okay, I'm ready.
This dude's been thinking about that for 2 weeks.
No,
You've been thinking
It's
about
for the
that.
moment. It's for the moment. I promise.
As always, I'm Drew with German and OC.
Made you blunder
You
again.
fucked me up, dude.
Yeah.
And we're back after a week and a half hiatus for the holidays. Just a quick little recap. I did beat OC in fantasy football.
You did.
Forgot about that.
We forgot about the brown paper bag, though, so he can show off his Fresno State hat. And then
Nick, you're just a loser.
following that, I went off and beat Nick in the championship game, and German's pretty bummed about it.
Yeah, dude. I was rooting for you. I was rooting for Nick. Thought he was gonna bring it home. You know, it's been a rough couple years for Nick, man.
It's going to continue to get rougher.
Being a Niner fan,
Boom.
being a Man U fan.
If no one knows who Nick is, he's one of our 5 viewers. So
Shout out Nick.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
right.
Nick.
Shout out Nick.
second place, the
His
first
second
loser.
place, first loser. Congrats, man. Congrats.
But yeah, I mean, you won your fantasy.
Go
I
ahead.
did. I won fantasy
Do you have
football.
anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank my brother very specifically. If you don't know this, right before the season started, I tried to trade my brother. He had Dak. I had Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. I waited too long in the draft to get a quarterback, and at that point, I was just gonna everyone that was good went. I was gonna pick Dak, and my brother took him 2 picks before me. So I tried to make a trade. I offered my brother Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas Jr., and my brother refused to take that trade. And I ended up getting Baker Mayfield off the wire, and then I ended up riding Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas Jr. coattails into the playoffs, and Brian Thomas Jr. helped me beat OC, and then he helped me beat Nick in the championship.
Nice, man. You should be a GM for the Cowboys.
I
man.
should be making big moves.
Yeah, trading for Trey Lance.
No,
big moves.
no.
Big moves.
I'd sell him right now to fill my vending machine.
It just proves championships are won on the waiver wire.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Well, I did it once with Puka last year. I did it with Puka Nakua.
Puka, when he busted out kind of late, right? I don't think he was on anybody's draft
I picked
board.
him up. No, I picked him up the Thursday before week 2.
Nice.
I was he put up 14 points week 1, and I'm like, oh, that's decent enough to maybe pick him up.
So now that Drew's done stroking himself over fantasy,
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the incentives that you were bringing up for the NFL.
You gotta
this
start
week
with incentives?
NFL Week 18 that's coming up right before the playoffs. There's some playoff games already, a lot of playoff implications, a lot of seeding, but also incentives, man. This guy's trying to get
Something
paid.
you don't hear about too often. No one wants to really talk about incentives.
Let's start off with, how do you guys feel about Saquon not playing this weekend with a chance to break the Eric Dickerson rushing record?
It sucks. If
Not to mention, it would be against the team that let him go. I think that's kind of you're risking injury, but Saquon's been a tank all year. So
if this is Madden, dude, I'm racking up.
Is it in
my
Philly?
franchise
Is it in
Madden
Philly or is it
mode.
in New York?
I think it's in New York.
Okay.
It's in New York.
oh, even worse.
No,
Let him
no.
break
but
it in New York.
Hold on. How many times has he gotten hurt on that field?
Yeah, that's another thing too.
How
Do you
many
really want
times
to
has
risk?
that field
No,
beaten him?
it's in Philly. It's in
Oh.
Philly.
Oh. I understand. He's been the reason why, in my opinion, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. Don't let your number one guy get hurt. The last thing you want to do is the reason why you guys were so damn good this year.
It's also too because they're sitting the rest of the starters, right? They have almost the completely backup
They
offensive
won't.
line.
They haven't completely said that, but they already came out and
Yeah.
just said Saquon's not playing.
And if Saquon's not playing, Jalen Hurts was already questionable. They're probably going to just shut him down.
Jalen's not going to play.
Oh, because of that concussion
Yeah.
from Washington.
Which also cost me a chance to beat this guy in the semis.
Okay,
because
hold on.
With Jalen
Atlanta,
starting? Yeah, that's
Atlanta
true.
got you 26 points on defense.
Yeah,
Okay? If you flip it, that would have been a normal day.
But if Jalen doesn't get hurt, no pun intended, he should have gotten at least 20 points. The dude was averaging 18 to 23
and how many did I
points.
beat you by?
I think he beat me by 13. And he only got 4. So he would have had at least another
that
15
was
points.
That's what you get for trying to ride the back of a guy that his best play is being pushed in the ass.
Yeah, well,
No, he's a dog, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
Jalen.
he just
Yeah, it
never
takes
gonna,
a doggy
he's
style.
He's not going to give
He's not
credit to
gonna-
the NFC East champs.
No.
So would
No.
you? So don't you want Saquon to start and then like you hope for him to get hurt?
Wow.
No,
This
I'm
guy,
not that,
this guy,
I'm not that much of an asshole.
How many times have we talked about it? And then he's like, "I hope he gets hurt."
No.
But we always like Drew.
You don't go that
you're
low?
a
I don't
savage.
go that low. No,
Damn, dude, watch
No.
out for this guy, dude.
no, because you know what? It would even be even better.
Everybody
if
wearing
he
knee
goes-
pads
he
around
goes-
this guy.
He goes into playoffs. I thought you said knee pads were useless.
They kind of are, but
If the Eagles went into the playoffs healthy and their first game, Saquon runs for like 45 yards, like he's done plenty of times in big games, and just shits the bed, I'll get more satisfaction with that rather than him getting hurt, and then the Eagles fans can say, well, Saquon got hurt, so that's why we fucking suck.
well, what's the seeding right now? We're
They are
Phil's-
out of number ones.
no, they I
contention.
know they're
Yeah, I
out of
think
number one,
They're
but
locked into
2.
2 or 3. 2, yeah, 2.
two, right? Because the winner of the
The winner of the Detroit, Minnesota,
Minnesota
game will
game.
be one.
So,
one, and then
One of those
loser.
2 is going to be a 14-win team with as a 5 seed.
5 seed, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that, I mean, we'll jump back to incentives, but seeding, like for years this has been an argument. Like
Right.
if you win 14, 15 games, or like for example Sunday, right?
Yeah,
We're talking,
yeah. Mhm.
the loser of that game is gonna have 14 wins
Mhm.
and is gonna have to travel potentially
Yeah.
the entire time.
I got no problem with it. Win your division.
Win
if you
your
wanna
division?
Win your
win.
division.
So
Yeah.
you guys aren't for the reseed
No.
everybody,
No, win your division.
or open it up like just 1 through 6 and see who, or 1 through 7 and see who has the best record.
I don't
No.
know, man. I feel like that's kind of an appeal of the of like the NFL playoffs, right? It's just
Mhm.
like when you can have like an 8-8 fucking team get into the, or 9-8 get into the playoffs because
Yeah.
they won their division
And you get to
a
host.
home playoff game.
You're gonna get
like,
to host.
I feel like that's pretty cool. I mean,
You're
Be-
first and foremost, right? You go into the season wanting to win the Super Bowl, but win your division.
Mhm.
Like if you can't be the best in your division, you shouldn't get to host a home game.
yeah, because then it takes away the incentive of winning your division.
Yeah, because
right?
then everyone's just gonna be like, oh, whatever. Well,
whatever,
we can just,
we're gonna get in.
Yeah.
either
we're only
way.
gonna win NFC games, you know?
Oh, right,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, so that's why I was like, and then you take away like, I mean, then why have divisions at all? Why have divisional play? I kind of like in the NFL
Like the
that
little
you
rivalries.
have your
yeah.
2 division games,
Mm-hmm.
and it creates this hostility, like in the NFC North, right? Like, or AFC
Everybody
North.
has a rival, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like
Or
it's-
2 or 3. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. So I think it's cool. And then we talked about how like the divisional games, how one team can be really really good, but the other team can be really really bad.
But, in
But
the
just because
NFL,
it's a divisional
yeah.
game,
Yep.
you never know.
Teams show up.
Which, I mean, for example, this weekend you have the Ravens who are playing for the division, but they can lose to the Browns who are in last place in their division
Mhm.
Yeah.
and hurt their seeding,
Who you said they lost to earlier in the
who
year.
they lost to earlier in the year already, right? Cincinnati needs to beat Pittsburgh to get
Yeah,
into
Yeah.
the
to stay
playoffs,
alive.
right?
There's a lot of
Do you
things
know?
that can-
Okay, so if Denver loses, who has priority between the Bengals and Miami?
Oh,
If they all finish with the same record, Miami gets in.
Okay, so Miami has priority.
Yeah,
Over-
over the Bengals.
okay.
The Bengals need both of them to lose. Miami only needs
Just
Denver to
needs-
lose,
and they win.
And then Denver just needs to win in their end.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I figured.
So
I
if
figured that.
if both of them lose, then Denver gets in. If Miami and
yeah,
Cincinnati,
Right.
Cincinnati
Right,
both
right,
lose, yeah, which can happen. I mean, who's Miami playing against?
the Jets,
The Jets.
and Miami's not. Tua's not
OC's
playing.
favorite team,
And
the
then
Jets.
wasn't there like rumblings or whatever of like Aaron Rodgers saying that this might be his final
Yeah.
NFL game?
Yep.
I mean that
There's
he
so
wants to
many
go out with
reports
a
out
bang
there.
with along with Devontae, because this is the last time they're going to be on a field together.
Probably
regardless.
More than likely.
But they're talking
Yeah.
about potentially last night. There was a report out there like saying they could end up in
Just run
Las
it.
Vegas.
Both of them together.
Mark Davis might be dumb enough to take that deal,
Bring
you know,
back
He
Devontae?
might be, dude.
because they just played themselves out of a top 5 pick. So
yeah. Same with well,
The Giants went from 1 to 3.
the Giants
Yeah.
went from 1 to 3.
Mhm.
But I mean, okay, so that's another thing too. Like, with just like the whole draft ordering stuff. Like, I mean, these guys are still like Drew Lock is still playing for a contract, right, for
Mhm.
next year, right? He still wants a job. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. We talk about, or like even the Browns. I think when we were watching the Hard Knocks of them, where they're legit telling each other like, hey, at this point of the season when we're out of the playoffs, you're playing for your job for next year.
Mhm.
Like, you may or may not be here. Like, they only get so many opportunities to play,
Right.
right? So that's another thing. Like, I mean, the Browns ain't laying down. Freaking the Jets ain't going to lay down.
Yeah, so right now the number one pick would be the Patriots. The Browns are 2, the Titans are 3, and the Giants are 4.
So
all 3 win teams.
So what other incentives, or do you guys want to keep talking about the playoff seeding?
Let's go incentives and then we'll finish the playoffs.
All right, let's start with your boy Cooper Rush. We just talked about it.
Yeah, he should let him play the whole game.
Okay, so Cooper Rush has a $250,000 incentive to play 55% of the snaps during the season, and he's currently at 52.3. And Mike McCarthy, when interviewed about it today, said they don't know who they're going to start Sunday. It's pretty messed up.
I'd have to go through the Cowboys incentives, but I can't imagine there's very many incentives that hit this year for Dallas.
No, probably not.
So, what's you've saved a lot of money on incentives. Just let Cooper Rush get his incentives in. He's I think 4-4 on the season. Let him try to go to 5-4, and you more than likely. Again, I've said this last year. I thought that someone else would have signed him last year. He'll probably be done somewhere, and he'll go be a backup somewhere else that has a young quarterback that he can kind of help mentor a little bit. I got no problem with them playing him. Let him get his money.
Well, that's what. Is he a starting caliber quarterback? Do you think? Like, I mean, you've gotten a good sample size.
I think
he's
better. Right? I think he's better than like Will Levis right now. But I mean, Will Levis is young. I mean, if you take Cooper Rush, you've already hit his ceiling. Mm-hmm. He's not going to get much better than what he is. Maybe if he gets into the right situation with the right offensive coordinator, he might be a little bit better than what he is. But
he can be like a Minka, or like not a Minka. What's his name? Fitzpatrick, the guy who played
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Fitzpatrick.
Ryan?
He can sling the ball. Like that's what made him.
Gunslinger.
Yeah, he can throw the shit out of the ball. Cooper Rush has an okay arm. He doesn't do something that's going to get you in trouble. That's what's great about Cooper Rush. He's a great game manager.
He stays within the
Yes.
system.
Yeah. So he's not going to lose you a game, but he's more than likely not going to win you a game.
Right. He can manage a game.
He's a good game manager.
Mm-hmm.
So do I think that he needs to be out of that NFL? No. I think that there's plenty of teams out there that could use a guy like Cooper Rush, and he could probably start on a team if they wanted to win games over their young quarterbacks,
or just to be a good quality backup, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Like if for whatever reason there's a playoff team out there, like the Eagles, if they were still in it, for the number 1 seed, and they had Cooper Rush on their bench, I feel like they would be like, okay, this is not bad. Like we still have the opportunity
not Kenny Pickett
to go out there and win games. Not so much Kenny Pickett, but I mean he did well against the Cowboys last week.
He did. He did. What other? So you like that they're gonna pay him?
I hope they.
Would you be mad if they didn't play him? Do you want to see Trey at all?
If Trey Lance came in,
I said to play Trey like 3 weeks ago though, so that's like the only downside is I've been saying.
But
play
now
Trey.
knowing that he has that incentive,
yes, that would upset me.
Okay.
That's true.
Because I told you guys weeks ago, you got to play Trey so someone can see that he has some upside and you can trade for him.
Or he has downside and you cut him.
Yeah, and then you can justify cutting him. But right now it's like hey, like you got to let Cooper Rush play because he's going to get his incentive, or you let him play up until he gets to his incentive. I don't know how many snaps that is though.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what do you think it was that why they? Because how many weeks have the Cowboys like been out of the playoffs already?
Dak got hurt week 9, so week 10.
But like mathematically, where you're like, okay,
no,
Cooper
it's the
Rush,
same time as the Niners,
right? So there was a couple of chances that Trey Lance has been able to play.
Yeah, that they didn't.
Like, why do you think they've already just pulled the trigger?
He must be
that's
pretty bad.
He's either super bad or Jerry Jones wants to save face and try to get
something out of him.
I think they were trying to get to 9-8. They wanted to be above 500. I feel like that Jerry Jones has an ego enough.
Is that big of enough a deal for him?
Probably. And then when you really look at the draft pick, like the difference between 14 and 8 for Dallas is not that big of a deal. Because you're either going to get an offensive lineman or you're going to get a running back. And there's a good chance that running back that you want is at 8 is going to be available at 14.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. But, I mean, yeah, like OC said, like, you think it's because Trey Lance is just that bad?
I mean, his last time he stepped on the field was the last preseason game, and he threw 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. It was bad. It was really bad.
I remember that.
It was
Was
against
that
the
the-
Chargers, I think.
Oh, I was gonna say, or was it the Raiders one, or which one was it?
I thought no, it wasn't the Raiders one.
Yeah, it was it was at
It
home.
was
Yeah.
the Chargers, but I remember watching the Raider one. He played most of the snaps. Cooper Rush started, and then he played most of the snaps. But the one that he ended the preseason on, threw 5 interceptions. I think that was the Chargers.
Damn, dude. What do you think the Niners saw in him that
I don't know.
they just saw the raw athleticism?
Where do you go to school?
North
North
Dakota.
Yeah, well, it's a fucking sub-tier college
Yeah,
football.
yeah, it is,
He
yeah.
dominated a inferior league. Congrats.
That's
And you
so
guys,
crazy.
He was a national champion
Well, so was
there.
Carson Wentz, and how did that turn out?
That's right. It's the same program.
I know. That's what
They
I'm saying.
dominate the FBS level,
And then
Look
Carson
up- look
Wentz.
up
or
how-
the FBS. What is it? Division 1A, I think it's called.
Is FCS?
Yeah, there you go. FCS.
So you think he's out of the league then?
Trey?
Yeah. Because I mean, if
Yeah,
no
I mean,
team is going to want
I-
to trade for him,
I
he can't even play garbage time for the Cowboys. How bad is he then?
he's really bad. Trey's really bad. And I think the problem is he wasn't this bad when he was drafted. I think he mentally that dude screwed up.
He's only 24 years old.
Yeah, I was saying
I
he
know.
left school early.
Early.
You I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not that difficult to be a professional football player and not throw 5 interceptions. Like you got to like switch something up or
I don't know, man. Have you played Madden and all Madden, dude? It is difficult.
That's because it's a computer
It is-
designed game.
So hard not to throw an interception.
I didn't say an interception. I said 5 interceptions.
Yeah, no, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I mean,
Eventually-
it's happened before.
Eventually, you stop throwing down the field.
I know.
You mix it up.
But 5 interceptions, I mean, guys have racked up like 3 or 4 in a game like quick.
Not-
Like, I mean,
Jared-
it happens.
Jared
Not
Goff
to
threw
mention-
5 interceptions.
not to mention-
He
and
did,
won the
and
game.
won the
Okay.
game.
But Jared
he did
Goff
that
threw
this
5
year.
interceptions against starters. Trey Lance was doing this against 3rd and 4th string guys.
So third
You're
and
being
fourth string
generous.
guys can't
All-
start.
Most of the guys you threw picks.
No, that's why they're 3rd and 4th string.
Hey, you're being
in
generous.
preseason.
They're
Most
probably
of-
not even in
they're
the
not in the
NFL.
league. They're in the USFL or they're working at an insurance agency by now.
Yeah.
Those guys all got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Or coaching high
So-
school football.
Yeah, they're GAs at some college.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, he's not good, and I think it's mostly mental with him, because I mean he's shown before that he has the talent,
Right.
but
Got the yips.
he's got the yips. But
Like
he's had the
Jake-
yips
like
for like
Jake
3
Moody.
years. Dude, has he been cut yet?
No. But the thing is they're saving face. They're not going to cut him right now. But just-
Monday, 8 a.m. Right, he's cut.
I have no clue. I think they're going to wait a little bit before they cut him. I don't
Why?
know. I don't know what their contract, what his
You have to
contract's
bring
going to look
somebody else
like.
in.
You can't.
It's only
Dude.
It's only going into his 3rd year of his rookie contract. So I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
They got rid of Trey. They could get rid of the kicker. In
Yeah,
an
well, they
instant.
traded Trey.
They're
Who's
not
going
trading him.
Hold
to
on.
trade for Jake?
So, if week 1 next season Jake Moody's your kicker, are you okay with that?
No,
Absolutely.
No.
You saw the disgust in
Absolutely
his
not,
face.
no.
That's why
No.
I
No.
Hey,
At this point, he's better off just honestly just going somewhere else. He'll get picked up somewhere else, but it's just whatever he's got mentally blocked, like in his head, whatever he's got going on.
that's what I'm saying.
He's not going to be.
What time's the
successful
game
in San
on Sunday?
Francisco. It's at 1:25.
Okay, at 4:15. 4:15, buddy. I'm
You
giving.
think so? He's done.
We're done.
He's done.
The press release. The moment.
Hey, they're
the
not
moment
even
the
gonna-
refs are going like
They're
this.
not even
Jake
gonna let
Moody's
him
been
get.
released.
He's not even into the
get,
locker room.
Get into the locker room and get changed. Nothing.
Security
It's like
guard. Hey, stop right there.
he goes
Jake.
to use his badge and it doesn't work. Like this is
Is
still the
Jamal
locker
Adams?
room.
Hey, your stuff's over there in the box. We'll put it on top of your
Yeah.
car.
Fucking players
We
are
got you an Uber.
players are walking around him to get in. Like, I mean, that'll
Dude,
be
there's a
brutal.
bouncer at the tunnel just
He
waiting.
just looks him up and down. He's like, not
Nah,
tonight.
bro.
Not on the
tonight.
list.
Quite right, buddy.
He's like,
Oh, see,
that was a good one.
that was a good one, dude. OC has his little
He's got
little
his moments.
nuggets. Yeah,
He's
dude.
got his
That
moments.
was a good one. That was a good one. But I mean, yeah, dude. It's just, I mean, we'll see what happens with him.
Hey, the Cowboys found Brandon Aubrey, dude, in the USFL.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You're
what I was
better
telling my
off
parents.
taking a chance like
just-
that.
You can find a kicker anywhere. I feel like
Yeah.
at this point, there's so many organizations that you just see guys out there kicking and they're freaking bombing these
Dude, there's some 24-year-old washed up in England right now that's
probably just with the leg,
waiting
huh?
waiting to
Yeah.
be picked up to kick.
Plenty
Australia.
plenty of dudes in the USFL.
Yes.
Yeah, they can just
Hell yeah.
bang it. But I think that's the thing is like when you're like around football, like especially like the level of football that he was at,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like he puts more pressure on himself, right?
Yeah.
And then like Aubrey comes in from the USFL playing soccer, and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm in the NFL. Let it
yeah.
sling it."
I think the thing with Brandon Aubrey is he's extremely confident. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, he does have a strong leg,
Right.
but I mean, it's all confidence. Like you watch his kicks, dude. It's very nonchalant. Like I got this,
yeah.
and that's not Moody.
No, not at all. He's whatever. That's what I say. Whatever he's got in his head going on, it's not happening. Not in San Francisco.
Moody's
dude.
like that kid a couple years ago from Oklahoma State getting ready to catch a snap like that.
The pressure
Moody's
is
knees
just
are
too
knocking.
much. Just folding like a lawn chair, man. And that I think that's a big difference of like athletes, right? Like there's guys that dominate in college and then go to the NFL
Yeah.
and they just can't handle it mentally.
Yeah, a
probably
lot
a
of
big
pressure
thing.
being a third-round pick as a kicker.
Yeah, it is. A lot of pressure being a number 3 overall pick
Yeah.
when you just played at North Dakota your entire career.
All right. What other incentives we got going?
All
Let's
right.
see.
The biggest ones I think that I found right here. Mike Evans needs 5 catches and 85 yards to get $3 million.
That's gonna be
Ooh,
easy.
they're gonna give it. They're gonna.
Well,
Are
they're
they
gonna
playing?
go-
Do they have anything to play
Yeah,
for?
they're still playing for the division.
playing for the division.
I thought they locked it up already
No,
with Washington's win.
Atlanta can still come up, right? You got to
Let me
look that one
check.
up. Because I don't think they said that Atlanta was mathematically eliminated. So I think they can still lose.
Yeah, no one has clinched from the South
Yeah.
Okay. So the Bucks need to win.
because they're
The
playing
Bucks
each other, right?
no.
No.
Uh,
So then that must mean
Atlanta's
that
playing
Atlanta
the Panthers.
must have the tiebreaker then.
Yeah. So they have the
beat
one
them
game
earlier
lead.
this year.
Yeah. So Tampa's 9-7, Atlanta's 8-8. So they both finished 9-8. It looks like that
Atlanta
Atlanta would go.
Yeah. So they'll get it to them against
Geno
The Saints.
Smith.
That's the easy one for him.
Geno Smith needs 185 yards passing to get a $2 million incentive.
against
they're
the
out.
against the Rams.
They're
out, right?
So then let them throw
Yeah.
the rock.
Yeah.
The
No.
Rams are going to sit people.
Dude,
The Rams already won the
Dude.
division.
I don't think the Saints would. The Seattle would do it. I think they'd pull him.
You think they'd pull him?
Why would
Yeah.
they? Why would they pull them?
Why would they want him to get an extra $2 million? That's a big incentive.
Why not?
I mean,
let him get
you
his.
in Seattle.
There's a big difference between $2 million and $250,000
So you think NFL teams would just like pull their guys like he's
For
got an
sure.
incentive? No.
for sure.
There's a couple podcasts that the guys and like former players are like they knew, like someone knew and like would call, like there's a Texans player that was like a sack away from like an extra $1 million and they pulled him like
Well,
second half.
I mean,
No
Tom
way.
Brady worked hard to get Gronk his incentive. Do you guys remember that?
But
Yeah.
When
But there
Tom
were-
Brady
yeah.
didn't leave the
I
field,
remember
and
that,
he
yeah.
changed the play
Yeah.
to get it to Gronk.
yeah, but I mean, okay, that's also Tom Brady and Gronk, right? Some of these guys, like especially like if you don't know if they're gonna come back next year, right? So like you have a guy who's out there who's close to an incentive, you know he's not gonna come back next year. So then you could just like, okay, pull him.
But
fuck
Geno
him.
signed an off-season deal, right?
Well, that's what I mean. If you know a guy's going to come back next year, why would you want to like create that hostility where like, fuck you, you pulled me early.
Okay, but they can
I'm supposed to be your franchise guy.
they can easily spin that as, dude, we're out. We don't want you to get hurt. He's been banged up all season.
You can do
there's
it both
so
ways.
There's so many ways they can
But
work,
if I'm
do
a
this.
player, I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna
that's
go get
my
these
money.
two. Yeah.
Fuck you.
You're right, and then and we can turn around and say, Gino, remember when you didn't finish this game, or you didn't finish that game, or that game due to injury?
Remember when you tore your
You're our
ACL?
franchise.
and-
Trade me.
You're our
Trade
franchise
me.
guy.
I want to get out.
You are
I'm-
a franchise guy. We
I'm
can't afford
Deshaun
you to get
Watson
hurt.
this bitch, and then out of here.
Can't afford to get you hurt. You're gonna.
No, that's
we're not
bullshit.
playing. You.
No, that's bullshit. Like you would, like as an owner and a GM, you would be like, yeah, let's fucking burn our bridges with this fucking guy.
We're not
even
burning-
though he's our franchise guy.
If you think we're burning bridges, that's on you. We're just looking out for your safety and the future of this franchise.
You're full of shit.
No.
And you're trying to stop me from getting
You
you money.
sound like the Eagles with Saquon. Like,
Dude, no wonder you're getting cussed out from people you're firing because this is bullshit. But you are so insensitive.
Hey, I didn't get cussed out by people that I fired. I never said that.
Or other people were getting fired and they cussed
Yeah.
you out. Or other people were firing.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. And then you
I
got-
was just there. I got cussed out. I didn't fire her.
and then
I didn't
Drew's
know
like-
she was getting fired.
Drew's like, fuck, why fuck me? Like, what did I do?
I'm just
That's
here.
Geno. That's Geno Smith and what's his name? Conversation. We just had that conversation.
All right, what else?
Let's do that. I'm Geno Smith. I'm Geno Smith.
How
and
many
you're the
yards? 180, you said?
185.
owner. I'm Geno Smith, and you're the owner. Tell me I'm not playing this week.
Hold on, you gotta imagine I have a clipboard. Okay, so
Why do you have a clipboard?
Just
you're
wait.
the owner.
just wait.
Other people should have
I got-
clipboards.
I got a clipboard. Gino, you didn't play 75 snaps this season due to injury.
But
Give me one good reason why I should let you finish this season. We have no reason to play this game. We're out of playoffs. You weren't good enough during the regular season to play it to get us in. We've been dog shit. You're gonna get hurt, and now you're gonna fuck us for next season. Why would we play? Why? Are you gonna say my kid?
My kid has cancer.
Wow.
You fucking dick.
Are we cutting that? Too insensitive.
I felt I was on track with that clipboard thing.
Yeah.
I think I got you.
No, you
Like,
got
yeah,
you
I
got me rattled a little bit, but I'm gonna come back, clap at you.
Okay, go. See, we're wasting.
All right,
time.
next one. This one's kind of a stretch. DeAndre Hopkins needs 1 touchdown, 6 catches, and 140 receiving yards to make
Ah,
700,
all that?
750.
No, that's not happening.
Uh,
They're not
Ky-
even playing. Mahomes is
Yeah,
not even
they're
playing.
not.
You got Carson Wentz this week, and good luck, buddy.
Kyler Murray needs 1 rushing touchdown and 50 yards rushing to get 750,000.
That's not happening either.
Derek-
Who
Is he
was
even
this
playing?
again?
Kyler Murray.
Is he playing?
I don't know.
I
They're
mean, I don't
out.
see why not.
Might be on
Why
Call of
wouldn't he
Duty
play?
already.
Well, Brock Purdy's not playing because he's like nursing a little bit of an injury on his throwing elbow. Yeah,
They're trying to get the contract done.
Injury.
Yeah.
Injury.
Derrick Henry needs 1 touchdown to get 500,000.
Well, they're
He'll
still
get-
playing,
He'll
right?
get that. They're still
Yeah.
playing. They need
Well,
to
but
lock
sometimes,
down that division.
sometimes this season, when you needed something from Derrick Henry, all of a sudden he disappeared.
Yeah. Cortland
Happened
Sutton.
to be plenty of times in
But
fantasy.
there was also a couple times where he wasn't even on the field. Like there was like big time situations, and they were like,
yeah, early in the
Derrick
season.
Henry's not even in.
Early in the season, where
Yeah.
you got like 12 snaps that first game.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Cortland Sutton needs 82 yards receiving to get 500,000.
Cortland Sutton.
I think that could happen.
He could, because the Broncos
The
need
Broncos
to
need
win.
to
Broncos
win.
need to
If the
win.
Broncos win, they're in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
I
that
think
could
that's very
happen.
doable.
Isn't he like? Well, Jerry Judy's there, right? No,
Yeah.
not Jerry.
No,
Judy.
Jerry Judy's with
Judy
Cleveland.
left.
Marvin
He went to
Mims
Cleveland.
is the one that-
Mims was the guy that took over.
Tony Pollard needs 83 rushing yards to get 250,000.
Does Tennessee?
wouldn't-
Does
I wouldn't
Tennessee
even play
even
him.
still play? Like, I
He's been hurt like the last 3 weeks. I wouldn't play him.
haven't heard anything out of Tennessee.
Joe Mixon.
Tony
needs-
Pollard had a decent season, but his last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, he's been hurt.
Joe Mixon needs 107 rushing yards to get
That's
250,000.
Joe Mixon, does he even play? They're in the playoffs.
Houston's not.
He's been banged
Houston's
up.
in the playoffs.
They're
Yeah,
locked.
yeah.
They
they're
locked
locked.
down
They won
the
the
division.
division.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the AFC South. That's why.
Valdez Scantling needs 1 touchdown to get 250,000.
He might.
And then Dobbins needs 58 rushing yards to get 150,000.
Oh, Dobbins.
How many rushing yards?
Well, the
58.
Chargers need a win, right?
No.
Chargers are already in.
Oh, they're in.
But they can, I think their seating can change if they win. And
No,
I think Dobbins will get that.
Knowing Harbaugh, he's not sitting any starters.
Yeah, true.
I'd sit Herbert.
Is there any other
Herbert
one?
again. He's
maybe
super hurt.
at the end of the game.
Oh, Von Miller.
Herbert has a fucking cast on his ankle.
That's true.
I'm not playing Herbert.
Yeah.
Von Miller needs 1 sack to get 1.5 million.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, Von Miller would play. Would he get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Joe Mixon.
Well, the Bills have.
Who are they playing? The Patriots?
Yeah, the Patriots in New England. And they already wrapped up they're locked into the 2 seed.
Right. That's what I was saying. They locked up that 2 seed.
Well, then maybe he won't play.
He's a veteran.
He's
guy.
older.
For how much?
For who? Von Miller?
For Von Miller.
1.5 million.
That's a lot of money.
But Von Miller's got bread.
I know.
This is his like second biggest or second big time contract. Or third big time contract. I think he had 2.
I think it'd be a struggle.
Denver.
I shouldn't say a struggle. I think even if he played the game, like a regular game, like Week 10 game, I think still. I mean, that's.
I feel like
Sacks aren't easy in the NFL.
Von Miller's rich enough to where he's like, dude, I don't need 1.5 million.
No.
I'm cool.
No.
Let me rest my body. Well, I don't know. Maybe Von Miller also don't give a fuck about Super Bowls. He's like, I already won.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He's already got 2 of them.
I'd still take another over $1 million. All
Yeah.
right, what else we
What
got?
else?
Playoff scenarios. Or the other incentives are pretty small, so it's like
It's like whatever.
those
Not
are like
worth-
I gave you
not
guys a
worth
top
talking.
10
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a bunch that I could go through, but it's a lot of players that like don't really.
And okay, so yeah, playoff implications. I mean, what else we got? We kind of covered some
1
of
seed
it.
locked up for the AFC. 2 seeds locked up. 3 seed.
That's not
think-
locked up.
No, it could go to the Ravens, potentially the Texans if the Ravens lose. Correct, or is it the Steelers could sneak up into 3?
Steelers could sneak up in there.
Okay,
because
hold on. I'm looking at the Steelers. Steelers win, Ravens lose, they get the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If the Steelers and Ravens win, the Steelers get the 5 seed. If the Steelers lose, Broncos and Chargers win, then they get the 7 seed. So there's a bunch of stuff that can happen.
That's
It looks like Houston's stuck at the 6th seed.
and then the
No,
Bengals are
Houston's stuck at 4.
and then the
because-
Bengals are playing
Oh,
for a
'cause they're
spot
division
too,
winner.
right?
Huh?
The Bengals are playing for a spot too, right?
Yeah, the Bengals
Yes.
need to win and have the Dolphins and Broncos lose to get in.
I don't think that happens. It would be crazy if the Bengals got in. I don't think it'll happen because I don't think both Broncos and Miami lose. It's a lot to happen.
Broncos, who are they playing?
Chiefs.
Yeah. But
And
Chiefs
there's-
aren't playing anyone.
Chiefs aren't playing anybody.
What do you mean?
huh?
Carson Wentz is
Yeah.
about to come back.
Scrub.
Carson Wentz is going to get another Super Bowl
Hey,
ring.
don't talk
We
about a
talked
Super
about
Bowl
that.
champion like that.
2-time
Same-
Super Bowl champion.
About to be 2-time.
No, he
So-
was their backup last year.
Yeah, he was.
He was?
He's won. He's
So
got
he's about
2.
to be 3-time?
He's going to be 3-time Super Bowl
That's
champion.
crazy. He's
That's
Jimmy
what I was
G,
like.
but 3 times better.
Jimmy G's won what? 1?
1.
Yeah.
My boss is a big Chiefs fan. And so I was telling him, we were talking a little bit about this. He's like, yeah, but no one ever really talks about these second string guys that are like playing. They're going to play hard. Like they're going to these guys,
yeah.
they're fighting for a job. And I was like, oh, you know what? You're right. So maybe a second string Chiefs team is better than a first string Denver team.
It's still the same coaches. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Still
Andy
the
Reid.
same- still
Andy
the
Reid's
same
gonna
game
do
plan.
do what he does.
Yeah.
So I just because Denver's playing a lot of backups against the Chiefs, don't count out the Chiefs.
Unless the Chiefs have no depth and then they
Yeah,
get rolled.
maybe, but I doubt it.
So, do we think Broncos get the last seed available? Because that's the only seed that they're really playing for.
I kind of want the Broncos to lose.
Just to see the madness.
Just to see the madness. And I want to see you on the edge of your seat against the Jets when the Jets are close. It's 12-9, Miami and the
Hey,
Jets.
trust me, I will not be on the edge of my seat. Like
A
you're-
12-9 game.
Because
Yeah.
guess who Miami would get to play if they get into the first round?
Who is it? The Bills?
Yeah.
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 So,
That's true. I mean, in that situation, these players too. They're thinking
trust me, I'd want them to get in, but if they don't, I'm not gonna oh
but
my god.
in the
You're
back of
just
their mind.
prolonging your disappointment.
That's what I'm saying. Because in the back of their minds, they're thinking like, oh,
And
do I
by
really
the
want
way,
to do
like-
this for just one more week?
Wait, hold on.
I was looking into the weather potentially for Wild Card Weekend, and I saw a whole report there's a polar vortex coming for
How many-
playoff weekends.
How many
Awesome.
times
So it's
have
going to
we-
be ridiculously cold the first weekend of the
That's
NFL
awesome.
playoffs.
How many times have we talked about how difficult it is to beat a team 3 times?
A lot. I
But
mean,
it's not easy.
it's not. And last time when Miami did go to was it Buffalo 2 years ago? They almost beat them. I think
That's
they lost 34-31.
That's what
And
I'm
that's when
saying.
With
Tua
Skylar
was
Thompson.
Tua wasn't playing that
Tua
game.
didn't play.
Sometimes.
And we always came back with the backup.
It's a,
Just 'cause-
it's a divisional game, and it
And
is always
Josh
scary.
Allen tends to kind of disappear a little bit in the playoffs and big games.
But
That's
it's
all
also
I'm saying.
but it's also Tua
That's all I'm saying.
in a game that's less than 40 degrees.
Potentially
Yeah.
with snow.
no
Yeah,
good.
so,
No good.
I mean, you can go
Is
this
Adrian
way
healthy?
or that way.
Yeah. He's good.
I mean,
Well-
so you can go this way or that way, but I mean, both sides.
Don't get me
have
wrong.
kind
I
of
want
their faults.
them to win and get in great, because then that means
You just buy yourself another week, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you still have a
Prolongs his
shot. You know,
disappointment.
you still have a shot at the end of the day, right?
It's so, but that's the thing. Is like I was thinking about that the other day. It's like it's so different when like your team gets into just gets into the playoffs. But how many teams have been disappointed? Boom, the first round.
Yeah.
How many 1 seed teams, right,
Been
get
upset.
knocked out their first round? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was I say? Well, if they win, I mean that's 5 straight seasons where they've had a winning record. So, and that's I think Tua's
Well, that's
first
good
5
too.
years. So
That's true.
It's actually-
Mike McDaniel's winning games.
consistently, but you're still like not at the top.
You're
yet.
not reaching your full
You're
potential.
good, but not good enough. You know what I mean?
But
Because if
I-
you think about it, there's really only like maybe 5 teams that can win the Super Bowl.
But I feel
6.
I feel like Miami's biggest thing is like the roster's just not there. Like
No,
I'm not blaming like McDaniel's or like Tua or like the football, but it's just like you can tell like you watch the games like the roster defensively just it's not there yet, right?
No,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
not. I mean, and it's only going to get older. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to come off the books as far as contracts. So you have to be able to not just reload in free agency, because you're going to have to pay some of these dudes or just let them walk. And then you have to be able to find dudes in the draft. I feel like so many times over the years, like there's franchises that do it well, right? You got the Steelers who draft well. You got the Niners that draft well. Green Bay drafts really well.
Yeah, Green Bay. Jesus.
There's teams that can find guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, and Miami struggles. Like there's a lot of guys that Miami drafts, and they already have a dude at the position. Like
Right.
they'll draft like I don't know how many years. It's like maybe like I don't know. Every other year it seems like they draft a D lineman. Like they just got Chop Robinson last year. They had Ogba. They had Bradley Chubb, who was hurt. I get it, but they had Shaq Barrett, who didn't even play. That's another issue. Dude threw a fit all year. Miami wasn't gonna budge, and then last minute decides to cut him, and the freaking Bucks picked him up today, and he's all happy suddenly wanting to practice and play.
Nice.
Nice. I think that's just a total like disrespect
Right.
thing. I don't know what the issue was between Shaq Barrett and Miami, but like the fact that you didn't want to practice or play, and then they give you what you want, and then now you get to go to potentially a playoff team, and then
And
you're rubbing salt in the wound of like I woke up and I saw that and I'm like, wait, so you didn't play for us all year because you didn't want to. Now you get released and you get to go to a playoff team.
That's crazy.
I think that's kind of one of the reasons why the Niners didn't cut Campbell and
Yeah.
suspended him instead. They're like, no, fuck you. Why are you gonna we're gonna cut you just so you can go to help
playoff
somebody
team, yeah.
else. Yeah.
So yeah, Miami's got a lot of things to fix as far as the contract situations go. I know Greer takes a lot of slack, but the fact that you've been consistent for at least 5 years, winning games like that I mean that says
Not
that goes a
bad.
long way, because before McDaniel and Brian Flores, even to an extent, like Miami was just like a bottom dweller. Like they weren't that good. Like they were decent. They'd win 5 games, 6 games, but that was it.
I never remember them ever being
No, they're not
competitive.
good. I mean, Tannehill had one good year. I think he made the playoffs once out of his 5 years, but that was it.
When Chad Pennington was there.
Yeah, Chad Pennington with the Wildcat
Yeah.
in
Not with,
2008.
Not with what's his face, Rosen.
Oh,
Josh Rosen.
Someone, hey, so I love when because on Twitter or on X, whatever it's called, someone found one of the Dolphins I guess he's like a fan guy, right? He has a big following of Dolphin fans, and someone pulled his tweet from when we signed Josh Rosen or traded for him, and he was like, Josh Rosen is going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. Just watch. And then someone pulled his apparently he's at a trading firm now for I don't know, trading stocks and bonds or whatever.
No way.
And they go
Pulled his LinkedIn account.
Yeah, they screenshot it under his thing, and they go, this is the same guy that you guys follow that said Josh Rosen was going to be it.
Damn.
They go, don't fall for this, Dolphin fans. Like this is the same old
It's the
bullshit.
same shit, man. Josh Rosen. I heard Josh Rosen was like super smart, like super intelligent.
Well, that tells you what he's
Couldn't
doing
read
now.
the defense.
Yeah, but it's just like I guess he was also an asshole. He was like super arrogant.
Yeah, he was
but
arrogant.
Everybody hated him.
Yeah,
Just-
UCLA.
But just to think, dude, he lasted 1 year in Arizona, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna
Dude,
try
when
this."
Miami
again.
traded him, I told one of my buddies, I was like, "This is terrible." Like,
You knew you had the writing on the wall, huh? You
well,
knew
because
it
I
was
had
bad.
someone had told me about that.
Yeah.
That he wasn't like he was arrogant.
Right.
He wasn't that good. Like,
I didn't even think he was. I mean, he wasn't. I didn't think he was that great to be drafted early in the draft.
I didn't think so either.
Arizona did.
Yeah. Well, how did that work out for them?
They got the number 1 overall pick last year. They took Kyle Murray.
You forgot to tell everyone you got to see Josh Rosen.
When?
Do you get to
When we
meet
went-
Josh Rosen?
Well, no, when we went to Dallas.
Oh, and he played, huh?
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was who the quarterback was.
for Miami.
No, but
that's right.
Fitzpatrick ended up coming in. I think.
Why? Because they pulled
Rosen was
Rosen
terrible.
so bad.
Flew to Dallas to watch Miami score a field goal.
Was Rosen on the team when they drafted Tua?
No,
Or he had
I think
left
he had
already?
just got cut. Miami let him go. Like,
Okay. And then they drafted Tua.
he was only there maybe a year. I don't even think he made it through.
That was only a season.
I don't even think he made it like the first half of the season. They cut him right away.
So because I remember Rosen. I think he came to the Niners and was like third string. He was like behind Nick Mullins and like C.J. Bedford.
You know, I
There's a
think
name for you,
Nick
Mullins.
I think is he still in the league? I think I
I
saw
don't
his
think
name
he's-
the other day.
He's not in the league anymore.
I think he makes more money though this year than Brock Purdy.
Then Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I don't think Josh Rosen's in the league anymore.
Hold on.
There's no way he's in the league.
Josh Rosen's not in the league.
Yeah.
That's what I
No,
said.
I meant Nick. I was talking about Nick
Oh, Nick
Mullins.
Oh, Nick Mullins. Oh yeah, Nick Mullins is a backup somewhere. Where's he a backup at?
Yeah,
Because he was
I was
playing.
looking this up the other
He's a
day.
backup in Minnesota. When I think JJ tore his ACL.
Okay, now
Or ruptured his Achilles. My bad.
we just talked about AFC scenarios. Now let's flip to NFC.
I mean, the big one, Detroit, Minnesota.
Yeah,
One
Nick
could
Mullins
be,
making $1.9 million this year.
yeah, with Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Minnesota can be the number 1 seed, or they can be the 5th seed. Detroit can be the number 1 seed, or
Dang.
the 5th seed.
Sucks to suck. Win your division.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Was the way the divisions are built. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I think it's very similar to what's kind of happening in college football with these playoffs now. It's like some of these guys, like let's just take Alabama for instance. They are outside the bubble. They couldn't even get into their conference championship games. So, in my opinion, they shouldn't be considered for the playoffs. And that's how it is in the NFL. If you can't win your division and you won 14 games, great, but you didn't win your division. So I don't see why you feel like you deserve a home playoff game. Win your division, get to play at home.
I mean, it sucks. It's crazy. I mean, and we'll see. I mean, both teams have everything to play for. And, Dan Campbell's not going to light up. Minnesota, what do you really have in Sam Darnold, right? Brock Purdy just torched Detroit's defense, right? If it wasn't for the 2 picks, he was putting up yardage.
that's the
against
thing
them.
I've been noticing. Like yes, we're giving Detroit credit for how well they are, right? But at the same time, their defense has been terrible
It's
because
been
of the
giving up
injuries.
Big time yardage.
Every game they have is like a slugfest. It's going
Right.
to go up and down, up and down.
Mhm.
Just shows how great their offense is.
No, their offenses, they're borderline unstoppable.
Minnesota got up. I remember this. Minnesota got up quick on Detroit early in the year, but then gave up. I don't know how many points in a row, and Detroit ended up coming back and winning that game late.
Wasn't it the opposite? I feel like it was Detroit.
Is
went
it
up
with
quick,
Detroit? Was
and
it?
then Minnesota came
back and won it?
And no, they couldn't win. They lost. They
Oh
lost
yeah,
to Detroit.
I think they had like a third down they couldn't, or a
Mhm.
fourth down they couldn't convert.
right. So
But-
yeah, I do remember that.
So
Well, yeah, that has to be because that's how the standings are currently. Detroit's in first.
Yeah. Yeah.
my
because
question to you: what do you do with Sam Darnold? Comeback player of the year, right?
has
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
But
I mean, argument fucking MVP.
so
right.
yeah, you can argue that too.
Sure, you can argue. Sure,
What do you do as far as what do you do with Sam Darnold? Do you keep him?
You have to. He's 27 years old.
Really?
Yeah, you drafted
That's not plenty
JJ.
of time.
You drafted JJ, but I mean, you don't know what you have with this kid, JJ, right?
Well,
You can trade him away like they did with Trey Lance.
Well,
yeah,
get
but
something for
but
him.
they announced JJ. They said that JJ was far better in training camp than Sam Darnold. They announced JJ as a starter.
So now
And then
that
he
he
gets hurt.
says that, this also makes me want to give credit to Kevin O'Connell. What does that tell you as far as his mind as a head coach,
As
or,
a head
or a
coach.
quarterback
When you're
guru?
when you're working with somebody, yeah.
Because he did the same thing with Dobbs, right? He got the most out of Josh Dobbs, right?
Because they got him out of Arizona.
Arizona.
Mm-hmm. And got the best out of him. And then, I mean, you can argue that he was getting the best out of Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is
Because
true.
Kirk Cousins was playing
He
at
got
an
a
MVP
massive
level.
contract with Minnesota or with
With
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, because before Kirk Cousins got hurt, he was up there. He was like putting up numbers just like Sam Darnold was,
And then he got benched.
And then
Oh, just recently.
no, just recently he got
Yeah,
benched.
yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying the year that he was this last year with Minnesota,
yeah.
he was slinging it, and then it popped.
Yeah.
Right.
So Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year potentially.
I think so, man. Because I mean, they're freaking
Think-
14-2 right now.
If they get the 1 seed, it's a lock. Like
I
he's
think
coach of the year.
he's coach of the year if they win this game. If they don't win the game, then
He's-
Dan Campbell's gonna be the coach of the year.
It's gonna be in Detroit, right?
It's the
Yeah,
winner
it's
of
in
this
Detroit.
game.
Yeah.
The winner of this game will be coach of the year.
I hope they wear
think
the
so?
the blackout unis versus the Minnesota all white unis. That'd be tight.
They won't
You want
do
to see
it,
a
though.
black versus white? Is that what it is?
The blackout unis versus the
Mm.
all white unis.
Segregation.
I get what you're saying.
Relax, bro. It's
Yeah,
those uniforms are so nice.
it's a Sunday night game, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good
Hopefully
game, dude.
Darcy doesn't watch.
Dude, how do
I
you
kind
not
of
watch this game?
want Darcy to watch. I know everybody is like up on like Detroit because they're the underdogs, right? Even though they fucking dominated everybody they played this year.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Minnesota, dude. Them too. I mean, Minnesota hasn't won a Super Bowl, have they?
No,
Right?
They've
been to one.
I know. No, hold on. They beat Miami. I think 1 year. Yeah, they did.
Oh,
Frank Tarkenton in like the 70s.
60 what?
Yeah, they beat Miami in like the 71. I think.
I thought they had lost that one.
Can you quote me on that, Drew?
Let's look it up.
I just know they beat Miami 1 year because I remember. I'm like, who do we
I think
lose?
you might be right.
Frank
Was
Tarkenton.
that the purple people eaters
Yeah.
that they were talking that crazy defensive line
And
that they had?
Frank
They have
Tarkenton.
never won a Super Bowl.
No.
Nope.
Who did Miami lose to then? It was Dallas.
Miami lost to the Niners. Well, no, but that was in
Yeah.
the 80s.
That was in the 80s. That was
Yeah.
Marino and
Yeah.
Montana.
But
Have they ever made a Super Bowl?
Minnesota?
The franchise has been conference champions 3 times
But
So they
since the
have won.
merger, but has never won the Super Bowl.
Because
So they have
remember,
been.
remember they lost.
They lost to Dallas then, maybe. No, they're in the same conference.
Remember the last time they won 15 games.
Oh,
They
yeah.
lost to Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Their
That was
boy, who was it? Their kicker, right? He missed?
Anderson.
Yeah.
The wide.
The one bar dude.
Gary
Yeah, yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah. That's when they had Chris Carter and Randy
And
Moss.
Randy Moss went off that year.
hmm I mean, it'd be cool, man, to see if Sam Darnold can just pull it off. But I mean, how heartbreaking too would it be if they end up winning the division and then out in the first round of the playoffs, or out in their first round of the playoffs, they get the number 1 seed, or even with the
That's
number
the thing
2
you were
seed.
talking. That's the thing you were talking about, though. How the NFL playoffs is literally like a coin flip.
It is
Like
man.
you can last year we saw Joe Flacco with the Browns going and absolutely torch the
They
Texans.
did, and the Texans were like the crazy story of the year.
Yeah,
right?
everyone's like, "Oh, heavy favorites, CJ Stroud. They're
Mhm.
at home," and the Browns got up like 20-something points quick.
It was quick
Yeah.
too. I remember that.
So I mean, NFL playoffs is literally like you talked about it. Like the low seeds have just as much of a chance as the high seeds, depending on the game plan
They
and,
do,
and
man.
who they play. So we'll see.
I kind of want them to switch back to the 6th seed. You know what I mean? I feel like the 7th seed have a 7th seed fucking done anything,
No,
right? Had they even won a playoff game?
I think the lowest seed that won, I think was like the Giants, and that was like 15 years ago when they were like
But they were the 6th seed.
yeah, they were the 6th. Like
Yeah.
no 7. Well, yeah, no 7 has
Since they added.
made a run.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, that's why I was like, I kind of want them to bring back the 6th seed or the 6 seeds because, I mean, now you give more of incentive to play for. Like, you think about what's going on right now where a lot of teams are playing for seedings when before a lot of teams were just playing just to even get in.
Yeah, but you want to know what the NFL loves about the 7th seed? It's
More
more
money.
games.
more money.
Yeah, well, that's
More
it, yeah.
games.
But, I mean, that Detroit Minnesota game, I mean, that's too close for me to call, man.
It's such a.
I like Detroit. Give me Detroit.
I'm glad the NFL does like the last week where it's like, hey, depending on how everyone is, we're gonna set up the games.
Right.
Yes, that's
That
great.
way, everyone has something good to watch. Like they're doing the AFC North on Saturday. All the games that really don't mean anything are
Like
Saturday
early,
morning.
yes, yeah.
And then all the games with playoff implications are Saturday afternoon. And then the division and conference 1 seed is a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
It's great for teams too. Like let's just say Denver played at 10 a.m. Then Miami and the Bengals, if they played at 1,
They have nothing to
they
play
have nothing to play for. Just take
Right.
everyone out.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, let's talk more scenarios. So Philly's locked into the 2.
Mm-hmm.
It says Tampa Bay gets the 3 seed if they win and the Rams lose.
So the Rams gotta play.
The Rams are
The
playing
Rams
for
Rams
something.
gotta play.
So the Rams aren't going to sit anybody against Seattle.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's
Tampa
gonna be
Bay
interesting.
gets the 4 seed if they win and the Rams win. So
Are
the Rams hold the 3 seed right
and
now.
those are
Right.
probably Tampa's an East Coast team. Are they playing in the morning?
Well, 10 a.m. Pacific
Would
probably.
be 1 o'clock for
10,
them.
They
Yeah.
are playing 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, so that one means
So
something.
so Seattle, if what,
So
so
they'll
what
know
happens
already.
if Tampa? So if Tampa loses, then Seattle's or then the Rams have it, right?
Yeah.
what?
If the Bucks lose,
If the Bucks lose in the morning, then the Rams could just
Yeah.
sit everyone.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
See, those games should have been played at the same time.
Let's see. The
well,
Rams.
they
are-
have divisional games being. Well,
All right, this report says the Rams are leaning towards resting starters this weekend, according to Sean McVay. If they lose and the Bucks win, Tampa Bay would be the 3 seed.
But the Tampa could also miss the playoffs. That's kind of crazy.
So if they lose, yeah, and
If
the
they
Falcons
lose and
win,
the Falcons win, then Tampa's out. And then if they win
So
and the Rams lose, then they're the 3 seed.
So basically, the Rams are going to wait to see what happens, and then
Yeah.
they'll decide who's going to play.
Yeah.
I would 100% do that. My backups would be getting just as many reps as my first string guys, and just be prepared to
Because
play.
I
That's
think
true,
you
because-
want to be the 3. Someone put up the thing and said they were the 3 seed last time they won the Super Bowl because the top 2 teams got knocked out.
Who are the top 2 teams? The
the big thing is the difference between 3 and 4 is who you're going to play in the next round.
Yeah.
Like if you're 4, you're going to play the number 1. You're
Right.
going to end up having to go to Detroit
I mean, but that's if you win your first round.
if you win your first
If you,
round.
I mean, yeah, that's a tough seed. The number 4 seed is a pretty tough seed because then
You would have to play.
you would
the
have to
toughest
you would
team.
have to play with a tougher team because you would play the 5 seed, right?
Yeah, you play 5 seed.
Yeah, you would play the 5 seed, which is dude, that sucks.
First, you
that's
have to play
a hard one.
First, you have to play the 5 seed, and then who's going to be Minnesota or Detroit?
That's what I'm saying.
And then you win. Then you have to play Minnesota or Detroit.
Ooh, the Rams might be in a fucking
If Tampa wins,
crazy situation.
if Tampa wins, the Rams need to win. They're going to go into that game trying to light it up.
Fuck, dude. But if Tampa loses, then they'll just fucking sit everybody.
Then they'll just sit everyone because
That's
it doesn't
not bad.
matter.
Yeah. Damn, I mean, you kind of, yeah, dude. You're rooting for Tampa to lose because Matthew Stafford, how beat up he's been.
Matthew
Puka-
Stafford could always use another week off.
Puka,
that guy
how
needs
injury
weeks
prone
off.
Puka is. Cooper Kupp, same thing. I mean, this team is getting older.
Mm-hmm.
You would think like, dude, you want to fucking get another week off
Yeah.
from a game, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
these guys.
You
at
gotta have
this-
that. You gotta have that mindset that you're going though. It's easier to turn it off than to rev it up.
That's true, right? Like you prepare all kind of lethargic and shitty the whole week.
hoping that Tampa loses.
Oh man,
And Tampa's playing the Saints. I mean, that's not the Saints aren't that great.
no,
There's
they're
a good
bad.
chance Tampa's going to win the game.
Is Derek Carr done with the Saints? Because he's not playing this week, right?
Like he's done for
It's
the
gonna be
season. He's
Spencer.
been out for the season.
He's done.
It's Rattler
Yeah.
again.
Oh, this might have been the year we started doing the podcast a couple years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year. Yeah, because I remember we were talking how Jimmy
What a dime.
made a run and lost to them in SoFi in the NFC Championship game.
Because it says, oh yeah, I remember because we filmed and the Cardinals were playing at the Rams on Monday night, that wild card game.
Yes,
And it was the night of the national championship as well, I think.
Yeah.
Georgia and Bama.
yeah.
So yeah, the Packers were the 1 seed that year with Aaron Rodgers the MVP.
He was MVP.
And the Niners knocked him out divisional round.
Yeah, in the snow.
In
And
the
then
snow.
they-
what was
and then
that?
they-
Like 12-6.
Yeah,
or
they
something like
had
that?
a block punt. return for a touchdown.
Yeah, and then I think it says the Bucks were the 2 seed, and I think
That's Tom Brady's Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's Bucks. That was his second year there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think this is the year after then.
Because he lost to the Rams in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did. Oh, so I think I'm a year behind. It was the COVID year then, right?
Yeah. COVID years when they won. When the Rams won.
2020.
I thought they won
No,
21.
no, it was
They won
21.
21.
It was 21?
21 because they
Tom
had it
Brady
at
won
SoFi.
20.
Oh, Tom Brady? Yeah. That's
Tom
right.
Brady
Tom Brady
won
won.
COVID.
Yeah, that's right. That was when they played in Tampa.
Yes.
When they had the...
Yeah, it says that
Tampa played at home. Tom
Yeah,
Brady
yeah.
won at home.
the Rams won it as a 4 seed.
Right.
That's wild. So yeah.
So because they played at Tampa.
San Francisco was the 6. They went to Dallas. That was the game where what was it? Dak ran in the middle of the field and ran out of time.
With like 20 seconds left.
This is the year that Matthew Stafford throws the deep bomb to Cooper Kupp at the end of the game to kick the field goal. Do you remember that?
It was the NFC title game when your boy had dropped the pick.
Yeah. So when they had dropped the pick. It was he threw the big bomb to Cooper Kupp, and they scored off of it. But then Jimmy had gotten the ball back, so the Niners had a chance. And I think on a 4th down, Aaron Donald just sacked him.
Yeah, because the divisional round was San Francisco was the 6 seed, beat the 1 seed, 13-10, and then the Rams won 30-27 at Tampa.
Because then Aaron Donald did the same thing in the Super Bowl.
So the Super Bowl ended the game on a sack.
Yeah.
Both that year, both 4 seeds went to the Super Bowl. The Rams and the Bengals.
Right? Because the Bengals, I think they beat. Who did they beat the first round?
So they knocked off Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh no, hold on. They hosted Vegas with Derek Carr.
Oh, that's right. That's when Derek Carr threw a pick in the end zone.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then they beat the 1 seed, which was Tennessee. I think that was the Ryan Tannehill year where he went off the charts.
That was Derrick Henry's 2,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Tennessee.
And then we had that wild shootout between Mahomes and
the Chiefs.
Allen.
Yeah.
Divisional round.
No, didn't the Bengals beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, in the
AFC.
I'm talking about Buffalo and KC.
You're talking about the divisional game.
Yeah, divisional.
Yeah, the overtime back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a back and forth, right?
That was
it was just a overtime Patrick Mahomes.
That was the 13 seconds left.
Yeah. We were watching that at a soccer game, weren't we?
Yeah, we're at
Nick's soccer
game.
game.
Yeah, we're at Nick's game. So I guess you can win it, right?
At a 4 seed?
Yeah,
this might be. Yeah, but
in the NFC side of 4
seed, you need a lot of things to go your way.
You got to either beat Detroit or Minnesota. That sucks.
This might be the year where a team that's a wild card team can make a run because it's either going to be Detroit or Minnesota. I think they're in a good spot because then that means potentially they would match up. It would be Detroit or Minnesota at the Rams or at the Bucks,
right?
Or the Falcons.
Oh yeah, or the
Atlanta.
Falcons.
Yeah. Which those are winnable games.
I think those are winnable games for the Rams.
If you're Detroit,
I wouldn't be surprised if
you're Detroit. Do you really want to go to LA and
if you're
play
Detroit,
Matthew Stafford?
If you're Detroit, no, I mean you want no. Oh yeah, that would be on the road.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
That sucks for Detroit.
The team that I want to watch is the one that you like that you said from
Green Bay.
Green Bay. I want to see what they're going to do.
Didn't they just lose?
They would have to play.
Yeah, to Minnesota.
That's right.
They would have to play the Eagles in the first round.
That's a juicy matchup right there because they went
they can beat the
toe
Eagles.
to toe week 1, right, in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Love got hurt.
He did.
But that was at the end of the game already.
Still got hurt. That would have won the game if he didn't get hurt.
Well, right now, it would be.
I thought he had lost it on the play he got hurt.
It doesn't matter.
It would be Green Bay at Philly and then Washington at the Rams.
Yeah.
Jordan Love is pretty good in first round games.
Minnesota at Tampa Bay, potentially, if things were to stay the same. They probably won't, but that's what the matchups are currently.
Last year, round 1, Jordan Love played on the road and threw for like 400 yards.
Damn. So week 18, there's a lot to play for, man.
There's a ton.
You guys want to make picks already? I mean, I feel like we've been going on for
for
a while now.
Well, we talked for like 40 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah, it was like a good 20-30 minutes.
Start with Saturday's game.
All right, we'll go. Do you guys want to do rapid fire and just go through the entire thing? 'Cause there's a lot of. Oh, well, I guess we can just go big games.
Yeah.
All right, Browns Ravens in Baltimore.
That's Ravens.
Ravens.
No shot. You're taking the 20-point underdog.
I was just thinking, do I want to make a curse?
They're starting
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi.
No. Yeah, we'll go Ravens. All right, Bengals at the Steelers. I want the excitement.
Oh,
Give me the
no, that one's
Bengals.
Such a good game.
Give me the Bengals. Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow can get into the playoffs,
What time
it's
is,
unbelievable.
What time is that one at?
This is a 5:00 Saturday night.
Time. Saturday night.
God, but the Bengals would go in at the 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they would also probably go in as one of the most miraculous 7 seeds ever.
I think the way the Bengals are playing right now, I'll go ahead. You pick first.
No. Go ahead.
I'll take
I'm not-
Cincinnati on the road.
I'm still trying to make my decision.
The Steelers have lost 4 in a row, right?
the Steelers have been crumbling.
Who are you picking?
I'm taking the Bengals. Joe Burrow is playing like he's a second half MVP.
He is. Yeah, the way his numbers are kind of inflated because of them having to play from behind, and then their defense is awful.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the numbers. I'm talking about what they were like 1-4,
Yeah, that's
and-
a start.
and now
Yeah.
let me see what they've
I
done.
think it got worse. And well, they just beat the Broncos, right, in that overtime game.
1, 2, 3, 4. They've won 4 in a row.
Who they beat?
Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver, Dallas.
They lost that crazy game to the Chargers on Sunday night.
They did,
The
and then
Bengals.
and then the week after that, they played the Cowboys in Monday night.
and won that miracle game.
Because
but-
Dallas messed up.
Yeah,
the
fucking
punt,
the ball.
idiots.
Yeah.
They lost to Pittsburgh their last game at home, 38-44.
Oh, that was a
That was
another
that was another shootout. Well, Russ was torching them.
The game before that, they lost at the Chargers 27-34, one score game. The game before that, they lost at Baltimore 34-35. The week before that, they won at Vegas by 2 scores. They lost to Philly. This was like one of their bigger losses, 17-37.
Give me the Steelers. I'll go Steelers. Yeah, I don't think the Bengals rally from their bad start.
All of their losses are
close.
all but one is a 1-score game.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the
I remember,
Bengals.
yeah.
Give me the Bengals.
I'll take the Steelers. I think the Steelers will knock out the Bengals. Handle business.
Okay.
At home in Pittsburgh, handle business.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin's not losing to them.
Then another game that we've kind of talked about is not until Chiefs Broncos 125. Well, hold on. Bucks and Saints 10 a.m. Sunday at the Bucks.
I think the Bucks are gonna win.
Yeah, I think the Bucks will win by 3 scores.
They're at home, right?
Yeah,
Bucks are at home, yeah.
Baker Mayfield with Mike Evans.
Baker's not losing to Rattler.
Mike Evans
Buccaneers.
has got incentives. Yeah, give me the
Okay,
Bucks.
then Chiefs at the Broncos.
Go Chiefs.
give me.
What? I'm also gonna pick the Chiefs.
Give
I
me
want
the-
the drama, dude.
Give me the Chiefs.
No.
I want the drama.
Why? Now
I
the
want
Broncos are gonna win.
We all picked the Ravens.
Yeah, but that's
That doesn't concern you.
the Broncos aren't starting Bailey Zappi.
Okay, then we have Rams at the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Because
I don't think Gino's gonna play.
I think the Rams because they'll have to play to win the 3 seed because the Bucks will win early in the day.
All right, Dolphins at the Jets.
Let's go Snoop Huntley.
Is that
Get us to Buffalo one more time.
I want Miami to win, but knowing that it's
Aaron
probably going
Rodgers
to be Aaron
ends.
Rodgers' last game with Devontae too.
Dude? Imagine the Bengals get in. Denver loses. Miami loses.
It potentially could happen.
Give me the Jets.
All right, since he picked the
Give me the
Jets, I'll
Jets.
pick Miami.
Okay,
Give me the Jets.
feel safer now.
All right,
Yeah.
and then the big one, Sunday night, Vikings at the Lions. Give me Detroit.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Every time this season I've relied on Sam Darnold, whether it's a parlay or picking him up for fantasy, he fucking chokes, dude. I can't bet for him.
It's just that Detroit defense looks sus to me. I don't think they're going to match a shootout with JJ.
But the Detroit offense looks like it's one of the best offenses of the decade.
I mean, that's football in itself, right? Like, this is why we watch football, to watch Justin Jefferson versus Amon-Ra and,
They were just in a shootout last week and they won on the road. What makes you think they're going to lose a shootout at home?
I don't know. I feel like Minnesota's going to pull it together.
I don't have faith in Mono Darnold.
We're also kind of watching two different styles of coaching, right? With like Dan Campbell. And
So, okay, here's my question for you both. Will Dan Campbell make a decision during this game that messes up potentially the game for him?
Not this game, but I think he will in the playoffs.
Damn.
My question was, there has to be a bet out there on the over and under the number of fourth downs they go for.
Oh, yeah,
It's got to be like 3.5.
No, it's probably low. It's probably like 2.5.
I think it's like 3.5.
They go for so many fourth downs, dude. They're so aggressive. And I think
the thing it's also because they do a good job of picking up yardage on like first, second, and third down. So like they put themselves in a situation where, okay, in this third down, let's just get a couple of yards because I know I'm gonna go for it in fourth. Their fourth downs aren't like it's like 4th and 15.
No, they're
fourth or 18. They're like 4 and 2, 4 and 3.
What I was thinking about the other day is how smart it is to go for fourth down this many times in the regular season because it pays dividends in playoffs.
They didn't last year.
Okay, yeah, but you're right. But at the same time, you got to feel so much more confident knowing, hey, we went for it on fourth down 24 times this year in the regular season. Just one more time in the playoffs. There's not as much pressure.
I think it depends on the yardage. If it's like 4th and 5 or 7, that's tough.
Okay, but if you're like how many times is Dan Campbell going for 4th and 7s? Like I feel like all of his go-fors are all manageable.
They're a 4th and 7 is manageable, but
not
it's a lot easier to pick up a 4th and 4, 4th and 3.
Oh,
right?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
That's what I was like. So I think in certain situations, you got to look at the down and distance, not just 4th and 15. Let's fucking go for it because we go for it on fourth down.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I feel like there's got to be less pressure in playoffs, knowing that they've done it so many times.
Yeah, but it's still playoff pressure.
I wonder if there's going to be an instance in the playoffs where he would normally go for on fourth down, but he gets cold feet and decides not to go for on fourth down because of previous screw ups.
What happened last year?
And then it goes back to
and then it bites him in the butt.
Yeah, and then you're just thinking, oh, we should have gone for it.
Like he's built this culture. Like the team's got to know, right? Like, hey, we're 4th and 2 on the opposing 45. We're going for it here.
I feel like it's kind of hard to like think about missed opportunities on a fourth down because on a fourth down, it's not a guarantee that you got it, right?
Right.
Like I feel like more like regrets are like, oh, if this guy would have caught this pass, or
a lot of it's like a scheme.
Yeah, scheme
based,
you know.
Like, well, if we would have blocked that guy, we would have
gotten it. Yeah, but it's not like, oh, I wish I would have gone for it on this fourth down.
Yeah,
because you never know if you would have gotten it or not. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell does not play the what if game.
That's what I was.
We're gonna find out.
I think
we're gonna
find out.
It's eventually gonna bite him in the butt in the playoffs. I feel like playoff football. That's exactly what happened because they had us on the ropes. Like we were done, right?
Yeah.
Like we were out of it. And then the Niners made some plays to come back, but I think there was one where it was like they went for a 4th and I think it was like a 4th and 3 instead of kicking the field goal, like because they were in the red zone.
Yeah, they were in like inside the 30.
And if they would have kicked the field goal, they would have been up, I think, by more points or whatever, because they were up already. Yeah, I forgot what the difference was.
They were up like 2 scores. They might have gone up like 17 or something.
Exactly. And then they went for it instead of just kicking it, you know? So situations like that, like you think, bro, just kick the field goal. Right?
Yeah, everyone becomes the couch coach. Like yesterday in the stands.
Oh,
do this,
at the
do
Rose
that.
Bowl?
Yeah. Everybody suddenly knows what to do. I'm like, guys, the D lineman is 6'5", 305 pounds. I don't understand it. Like, do you know, like, the running back cannot help on that guy?
Yeah.
There's a reason Dylan Gabriel cannot release the ball when there's guys that have 7-foot wingspans.
No, Drew and I, when we were at we were at your championship game for TJ, and how we were like making fun of the parents, like, oh my god, the parents in the stands are
so bad,
are yelling at the refs, like that was holding, and he goes like, yeah, as if he's gonna like call it out of nowhere.
Hey, hold on, wait a second.
Yeah.
I heard someone.
And I was like, I do it at the Niner games when I'm fucking 800 feet away from them.
Yeah, we'll see. Everybody. Like, you know, especially the when you're watching the game. Oh, they should have done this. You should have done that. But in the game, it's totally different when you have that headset on.
It's hard to think. Yeah. Well, I mean, not
because you're
that it's
just
hard to
living
think,
in that
but
moment. You're like, we need this right now. But
sometimes that's better for you when
Yeah.
you just don't think at all. You just say, "Fuck it, let's go for it right now." Because also too, I mean, it's also too like on the sideline of how you feel, right? Like if you feel like, oh, we've been moving the ball on
momentum,
them, 3 yards, we're gonna get it, But like if you've been struggling to move the ball, 4th and 3, you're like, we can't
that's a
fucking
long
run it,
three,
dude.
yeah.
They got a big ass dude at linebacker who's fucking tearing us apart.
Let's just go ahead and punt this and try to let our defense get us back
exactly.
there's a different ways that you can go about it. NFL firings. Do you guys want to touch on that? Because Monday morning there's going to be a couple jobs that open up.
I mean,
most of them are open already though.
there's some jobs I feel like are going to open up that are not going to surprise us. Like, yeah, but I feel like there's some jobs that are not going to open up that are going to also surprise us. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of guys who are going to get fired who we think should get fired. Like, for example, Matt Eberflus last year, we all thought Matt Eberflus should have been fired, but
They waited,
and then they waited halfway through the year. Nobody thought Salah was going to get fired. Like, that was a surpriser, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do the Giants fire Brian Dable Monday?
I think that's one that's going to surprise us.
I think so.
I don't think they fire him.
I think
we've talked. You say yes, you say no.
I think we've talked about it before, where when you have the opportunity to get a new quarterback, you want to get a new coach.
Yeah, that's true. You have a different feel.
And you're hoping to get a franchise quarterback. Like, this isn't like, hey, we have everything, but like a quarterback, let's trade for a guy. The Giants are 95% sure they're going to draft a quarterback, right? And you're going to draft a quarterback at that 3 spot as your future franchise quarterback.
But also, Dable, he made it to the playoffs with Daniel Jones. Not last year, but the year before, right?
Okay. One time he did it. And the other seasons have been terrible.
That's true. Yeah. Well, wasn't he like considered one of the top coaches of the year, like when he turned them around?
They won 9 games, 10 games. I think it was 10-6 they went, or 10-7,
right?
And they were the last wild card team.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but we went over Daniel Jones' stats before. Other than that, like as a career, Daniel Jones was awful. The franchise has been awful since after Eli won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What do you think, OC? You think they fire him?
Who, Dable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's usually 7 to 8 jobs available. I'm going through the list right now. I think Giants will be one. Chicago's already one. New Orleans is one.
What about Jacksonville?
Well, the Jets are one.
I'm going through NFC right now.
Okay.
Those are the 3 in the NFC that I think will open. Well, 2 are already open. I think the Giants will be the 3rd. What do you guys think about New England and the AFC?
No.
You don't think they fire Mayo?
It's year 1.
I don't think they'll fire him.
Okay.
They're also, they're also not going after a new quarterback.
True. Tennessee?
They're not firing him.
No, this is year 1.
Cleveland's 3-13. We were just talking about how Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski's so good, dude.
I think they should,
but they won't.
But they won't.
No.
Jacksonville with Doug Peterson.
Didn't Stefanski win Coach of the Year last year?
2
years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, no. Give him one more year. Let him figure out this offseason who his quarterback is, and then kind of go from there.
The Jets, obviously, Salah, that's open. So there's 3 jobs that are open. 4, the Raiders.
Well, you had brought up Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Doug Peterson, gotta go.
I think you have to scratch it.
Gotta go. He's a huge
These owners are so like...
And that's the one I think that should... But that's the one I think that's going to surprise us and be like, no, they're going to keep him.
Because he had this quarterback hurt all year, so they're going to be like, we didn't have a good team.
Mm-hmm.
How about this whole fiasco in Indianapolis?
Ooh.
With Pat McAfee, like completely just going in on the team, questioning every move they made, their players.
That's another one I think that they should, and they won't. They're going to be a mid-season fire next year.
I don't even know who the head coach is there.
I don't even know either.
Shane Steichman, I think. He was the Philly guy.
Oh, okay.
He was like their passing game coordinator.
Is this year 1 with him or 2?
Year 2.
Year 2.
So they got new with Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson's rookie year last year, but he got hurt. Remember, and then he missed all that. So now they blamed it on him being hurt.
In and out. He's kind of been hurt
and
this year.
And then this year his play kind of dipped.
Yeah, but he's also been hurt. He's missed 3 or 4 games
Something
already
like
this
that,
year.
Yeah.
And they're not far off from contention from winning the South. Your division is not great.
You just got to beat the Texans right now.
Yeah.
The
So
Texans are bad.
I think they'll roll with him one more year.
Which the Texans, yeah, I mean, I'm not excited for them to be in the playoffs. I feel like they're going to be a round 1 exit. They're not making a run. Who else? Oh, yeah, the Raiders. I think that's another one that I think that should, but won't.
I think
You think
they
they're
will.
gonna leave?
No, they got
They're going to leave AP?
No. Yes, they are.
They'll leave him?
Yeah.
The Raiders are dumb enough to do that?
It's again, you're gonna a new quarterback, a new direction.
Oh, you think they are going to fire him?
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I mean, who's going to be their quarterback next year?
Whoever they draft.
Let's say trade for JJ McCarthy.
Oh. I would still get a new head coach.
New head coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're not going to next season with Aiden O'Connell, right? Like that.
he
Their
was
plan.
so bad.
their
Gardner
plan-
Minshew was so bad.
Their plan can't be that's our guy. Like maybe he earns a starting job because they draft a quarterback who isn't quite ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
But Aiden O'Connell can't be the off-season plan to fix the franchise.
Nah.
So therefore, you're moving on to your
Yeah.
head coach, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. What other jobs? Is that it?
Yeah, because I'm looking through the list right now. Those are just the potentials.
Okay, and Johnson's the number 1 overall guy, right?
Ben Johnson,
Yes.
Cliff Kingsbury apparently is interested in interviewing for the Chicago one.
I hear Gruden is also.
Gruden's always
going to
be a name,
Chicago
you know?
one. Yeah.
Kingsbury, do you think it's going to be better than what it was in Arizona?
Usually your second time around being a head coach is better than your first because you learn from your mistakes, I think sometimes.
I think he should stay.
Unless you're Adam
He
Gase.
should stay in Washington. He's done a really good job in Washington.
But I got what you're saying.
I didn't even.
Because Adam
Adam
Gase.
Gase.
Because he was in Miami for like 4 years.
And then he went to the Jets and was just awful with the Jets. Yeah.
To be honest, anyone that's on the Jets has been awful like the last 15 years.
I mean, he could have. I mean, speaking about Sam Darnold, I mean, he could have ruined Sam Darnold's career.
Oh, that's right. He was there with him. Yeah.
He was the first overall or number 3 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when was it Trevor that went number 1?
No, this was before Trevor. He's
This was before
way
Trevor?
older than
He's
Trevor.
older than
No.
Trevor.
Okay, so who went 1? Was it Baker
This might have been Baker's
Yeah.
year.
when he went to Cleveland? And then who went at 2 then? Because I think it was another quarterback. I think I remember it being quarterback.
And Darnold was there, huh?
Yeah.
What year was
Yeah,
that
because
draft?
Darnold was coming out of USC. I like Sam Darnold. And then when the Jets, I mean, when they had that number 1 or number 2 overall pick, because they took Zach Wilson, right? Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Trevor, Zach, Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Are you still looking?
Yeah. Baker Mayfield 1, Saquon 2.
Oh,
Sam
Saquon.
Darnold 3,
3.
Denzel Ward 4, Bradley Chubb 5, Quentin Nelson 6, Josh Allen 7, Roquan Smith 8, Mike McGlinchey
Yeah, it's
9,
the Niners took
Josh Rosen 10.
Arizona. Because I remember him saying there was 9 mistakes made ahead of him when he got drafted.
Lamar Jackson 32.
Oh, that was Lamar Jackson.
That was when Lamar was sitting in the green room the entire draft night.
Leighton Vander Esch went at 19, Jair Alexander at 18.
So how many jobs I say were open? Chicago, New Orleans.
Yeah, Chicago, New Orleans. You're talking the NFC, right?
Chicago, New Orleans, and the NFC are open.
Maybe the Giants.
Maybe the Giants, but open for sure right now. Chicago,
Those
New
2.
Orleans.
Yeah.
And then in the AFC, it would be who's open?
The Jets.
The Jets is open. So it's only 3 jobs that are like
actually open right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do they call it? Black Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. A lot of in between teams. A lot of really bad teams that I think aren't going to fire. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if the Bengals lose this weekend, you think they fire Zach Taylor?
I don't think so.
You think you keep him around?
No,
No.
I do.
You think they took him to the Super Bowl 3 years ago or 2 years
No,
ago?
And then-
he
and then-
said, "Do you think they keep him around?" I said,
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
you
do.
do?
I thought
Yeah.
you said
No,
fire him.
I don't think they fire him. No, I think he's a pretty good coach. I think, yeah, he took him to the Super Bowl. You gotta figure out a few missing pieces. You gotta finally get Joe Burrow an offensive line. Holy shit! What does this guy gotta do to get an offensive line? I mean,
Yeah.
his rookie season was just demolished.
So when he tore his ACL, right?
Yeah, and then the next year that he went to the Super Bowl, didn't he also lead the league in sacks?
Yeah, he did.
Like that's outrageous.
He had 30
and
something
he's still
sacks.
getting sacked like 5 to 7 times a game.
Yeah.
Like in no way should a quarterback be sacked that many times. Like what does the guy got to do to get some protection?
Right.
Maybe leave Cleveland or Cincinnati. I don't know.
He's not going anywhere.
No, they're gonna make him a franchise
Yeah.
guy. That's a team that I would love to see. First round, who we drafting? A
Offensive
300-pound offensive lineman. Give me someone that's gonna block.
All right. So anything else? I mean, I feel like we covered a lot.
That shit was way too easy. Holy hell.
Okay.
Was it not? I mean, he was never touched.
But yeah, anything else? I think we're done.
That's pretty much it. Incentives,
that was-
playoff seating, head coaches.
I mean, we can go on for hours of other stuff. But
Who's winning the college
We still
championship?
have next week.
I know. We got 4 teams left. Who's winning?
Penn State.
Penn State does look good. They're
If
beating
Ohio
Notre
State,
Dame.
if Ohio State plays the way they did yesterday, it's them.
Yeah.
So Ohio State versus Penn State.
Oh, Georgia just fell apart against Notre Dame, dude.
Who was quarterback today for Georgia?
No clue.
Stockton,
This is the backup,
He's the
right?
backup.
Beck. No good.
Carson Beck got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook 'em.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're rooting for Texas.
Yeah, you're rooting for
Rooting
Texas, which was bullshit and should have been called for targeting at the end of regulation and
In the words of OC, let them play.
put
Let 'em play.
ASU
Let 'em
into field goal range and kick Texas out of.
Could have
He
watched
would've
Cam
they would have just missed
Scatterboo.
the field goal anyway.
Could have watched
Nah.
Cam Scatterboo another week.
Cam Scatterboo another week, who I think is a dog.
Is he declaring for the draft? Is he
He's-
draft eligible?
Yeah, he's. This was his last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to the draft. He's the
So
best running back in the nation.
His stock went up big time.
I mean, yeah. Genty's still up there though. I mean,
I
Who?
think so.
Genty.
Who's that?
This guy.
The guy that
Because he plays for Boise.
Because he plays for Boise,
just
he's
because he
just
plays
like
for
he won't
Boise.
even acknowledge him at all.
You cannot
I
sit
was
there
like,
as a
this guy.
Fresno State fan and root for a Boise guy.
Not once have I watched his game and rooted for him.
I wasn't rooting for him.
When he
He-
wears the star next year,
But
I'll root for him.
Okay, but I mean,
He looked average against Penn State. Just say.
How many times did he get hit in the backfield?
there was
Quite
okay.
often.
No, he did look a little average. Not like he didn't look like he didn't belong there.
He made like 2 or 3 good
but
runs.
there was one run where it was like an 11-yard run, and he like breaks
he carried like
2
3
tackles
guys.
like in the
Yeah.
right at the line of scrimmage, like jumps another guy, breaks another tackle, and then just rolls over the defender to pick up extra yardage. I'm like, I mean, if you're doing that against Penn State, you're a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest of the game, he did look kind of
Yeah, he had like 2 or 3 good plays where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then it was just like an onslaught after that. So
Yeah.
Penn
Like-
State just physically. When you're
not like Cam, where Cam was looking like, fuck, like, this guy's a dog.
well, yeah. Well, they were calling him
Yeah.
average until that fourth quarter, and then he threw.
No,
He
yeah.
threw a
Threw.
touchdown.
He threw the
and then
touchdown. He ran one,
Yeah,
and then he had like another 100 yards receiving.
yeah
I'm like,
he
bro,
caught
yeah.
like that, like 50-yard pass,
Yeah.
60-yard pass.
Crazy that is the team that Fresno State beat last year.
29-0.
That is, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Also,
Yeah.
beat
Mikey
Boise.
Keene. Yeah, Fresno State.
Shout
also
out
beat
Mikey,
Boise.
dude. Next Michigan backup.
No,
Yeah.
he'll be the 4th string or 3rd string.
Do you think that low?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow,
They paid a kid
fuck.
$10 million to go to Michigan.
yeah. They paid that kid.
I mean, the only reason I can think of is like he's got a coaching job lined up for him.
I told
Well,
Andrew I
he's-
did a little research. The reason he went to Michigan is because the OC at Michigan, the new OC is it was his coach when he was at UCF. So he's like gonna help kind of coach the freshmen.
the
coming
freshman coming in,
in. Yeah,
Mhm.
or at least like he had
mentor him.
yeah,
Yeah,
and potentially if he gets hurt or something, Bryce Underwood, then Mikey can go in because he knows the system.
Which makes
Yeah.
sense. But then at the same time, I'm like, you basically just agreed to not play your entire final season. That's kind of crazy.
for $10 million.
Well, no, not
No,
Mikey.
not Mikey.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm sure
what,
Mikey got a deal though.
Mikey probably got a good NIL deal for a backup, but still, imagine your senior year. You're like, I'm cool with just being a backup on.
Mikey could throw all the checkdowns he wants at Michigan because they might block.
but I
him.
mean, OC saying
Yeah.
that he has a good point that you're making decisions of a guy who knows he's not going to go to the NFL.
True.
Mikey's not going
So,
to the NFL.
but I mean, wouldn't you want to play one last season?
I mean,
Or you just look back at this Fresno
or
State
you
season
can
and be
just
like, that
leave
was it.
Fresno and go live in Michigan.
Hey, that just tells you his mentality.
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ooh.
That just tells you his mentality. He didn't want to be
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, no. But yeah, that you know what? You're right. That explains a
Yeah.
lot about Mikey Keene.
He just it's
not-
too much
not
for
a
him.
dude.
He doesn't
He's
want to
not
be
a
that
He just
guy.
wants to be one of the guys.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, I want to be a guy. I graduated from Michigan.
He's just good enough, and then and to say he wants to be a guy who was like, oh yeah, I played for Michigan.
I was
Yeah.
I was on
on
Michigan.
that team.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like, oh
He's
yeah,
gonna tell
I was
his
a dog
grandkids-
at Fresno State.
He's going to tell his grandkids that he was at Michigan. He's not going to tell them that he beat Boise. He's not going to tell them that he beat ASU. He's not going to go over that. No.
I can see the appeal of it, like right, like you're balling out over at Fresno State, right? I mean, things aren't going well, and then you get an offer from Michigan to just go be a backup. You know, you're not going to go pro, so he's just like, why not just take my senior year, take this this little deal that they're giving me, and go try something else, right?
Damn, that's crazy. You still just chalked up your last game as that
Yeah.
Fresno State game.
Yeah, just say fuck it, right? And then just chill for the rest of your senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see the appeal
And
of
then
it.
potentially go in if something happens. And
And you're still at the games and everything. You're creating more relationships with guys in the organization.
or setting yourself up, like you said,
Setting
for a coaching
yourself
gig.
up for a coaching gig.
He's gonna walk into that locker room and they're gonna be like, "Hey, aren't you the guy we picked off last year?
Yeah.
I ran it back
Will
80
Johnson.
yards."
That was like 90.
But it's also against dudes that are going to go to
Yeah.
the league.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for making me better.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Mikey.
Thanks
My
for
draft
giving me
stock
good-
went up because of you.
Thanks for giving me good game tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it, man.
All right. Let's chop it up to that.
Shout out to my sister for winning her fantasy league.
No,
did she really?
fucking way.
Her first year won it all.
For at work or what?
Yeah, it was like I think her work friends or something.
Nice. Good for her.
Tell her she's got to watch this video for the shout out, but don't tell her when it comes.
At the end.
We can get that whole view in.
Sat there for an hour and a half just to get the one.
She won't
Just get the one shout out.
And she's gonna post it too. Clip it, post it on
Yeah,
Instagram.
that's right.
Yeah. Just the 30 seconds that we mentioned her.
Yeah.
She also
was
said
it.
she's never playing again because she doesn't like fantasy.
She didn't like it.
She's like, if it says you're supposed to score 15 points, then you better get 15 points.
So what happens if he scores 16? Should they take away that point?
Well, no, she was like, they should score more because they want to do good. I was like, people have bad games, dude. Like it happens. No, score your average or more. I'm like, I wish it worked that way.
Yeah, dude.
Well, congrats, I know. You and me both champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
Who was fantasy of your guys' league last year?
Who was champion?
Yeah.
We don't talk about the guy that got kicked out of the league.
Oh, that means you're next.
No, just that guy.
He said the guy before that.
The last two people that
Hey,
won
hey,
it
the
didn't
guy
play
before-
the next year.
Drew- guy
likes
before that.
Drew likes to kick out people who are better than him in fantasy.
No.
Just so he could
Just so
win
he
it.
can win it,
Pause.
dude.
Time out.
He gets his
Time
little
out.
friends
Time out.
all together
On Labor Day.
on Labor Day, which he knows I'm always busy on Labor Day.
Well, 2 years ago he drafted on Labor Day. I don't understand this.
It was an exception,
I
not the rule.
I bent the rules for this guy right here for this year. He decides to go to Vegas and stay late.
That was
longer.
last year. That was
he
last
stays
year, dude, not
longer
this
in
year.
Vegas. Longer in Vegas. He could have come back in time for the draft, but no. I was willing. I went to the league and I said, "Look, guys, German won. He can draft Ramo. We'll put him, later in the draft. There'll be some punishments, not a big deal." And the league said fine, and he said, "Nah, never mind. I don't want to do it.
It was all a ruse.
I don't want to do it." He backed out. That's on him.
The
I got
people
text.
I went to
I'll
Vegas.
find the text.
The
I'll
people
post it.
I went to Vegas with intentionally planned those dates because Drew had paid them out to
Yeah.
keep me out of their fantasy.
Hold on.
He knew
Did
I had conflicting interests
those
for that
people
weekend.
stay till Monday night like you did? No, they were back Sunday.
No, they were back.
No,
They were
no.
back Monday afternoon.
Okay, so then Tim could have made it to the draft.
No,
I should ask Tim to play.
No, they came back. No, they did. Came back Monday night. They
That's
came back
false.
Monday night.
False
I came
information.
Back, no.
False
Listen,
information.
listen.
We're done.
They
We'll
all
catch you
came
guys
back.
in-